Hi everybody, it's Bobbi-Jo and welcome to my home. I am coming to you from the Maritimes of Canada, and I am coming to you with a little bit of a tutorial. So for those of you who are new here, welcome. Great to have you. And for those who have been with me for a while, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys and any feedback you give me and things like that. So what I've got here is the back in May, I did a Mother's Day card that was kind of a floral balloon, hot air balloon card. So I figured I'd do a little bit of a tutorial on it and see if you guys are interested in doing your own. And I hope you are. I hope I inspired some of you. So first, we've got a 5x7 card. It's just makes it large enough for the size of balloon that I want. Of course, you can make it any size you want, but this is a 5x7. And then my top layer is a 5x7 as well, because I want as much card as I can get. So this is 110 pound. It's kind of a soft white almost from Michael's. And that's our base. This cover, I wanted to have it a little bit softer, but I did get it soft around the edges. I wanted it to not be strong in the background, and this is going to be our sky. So I just wanted it to, I wanted some dimension to it, based on my earlier card. I will have my earlier card. I will have the link to the video below if you're interested in seeing that. And yeah, so this right here, this embossing folder comes from close to my heart. And you can see how it doesn't have a specific name. Not that I remember anyways, so yeah. The next thing we need is a balloon. This is not something that you have to be worried too much about. Keep in mind that the floral is going to cover this, right? So don't worry too much about having your lines perfect. Like for instance, this looks like I didn't get my scissors. I didn't turn my paper well enough for my scissors, and yeah, that'll be covered by the floral. I also have you can see here that I've already set up where I'm going to weave my basket. And yes, I weave paper. So what I've done with it so far is just brushed it with some vintage photo distressed ink, just to begin with. I do a little bit more after it's done, but literally it's very easy, and we'll go through that. Need a couple of well, I wanted a couple of clouds. So it's just, yeah, it's up to you what you do with them. I did go around them a little bit with silver, just so that they popped out a bit more. You're going to need a small flower. I'm going to turn this light on. That's probably better for you. You're going to need a small flower. You're going to need a lot of them because we're going to cover that balloon. So these ones here are from a punch that I have. It's EK Success, and they are about, oh, they're about a 1/2 inch, and with some gems in the middle there. You're gonna need, I used silver for the things that hold the basket. You could use twine. You could use anything that you think looks good, but I prefer the gold. I put on mine, I put a butterfly just to give it a little bit more whimsy. Anyways, yeah, so if you prefer that, you can do that. So the majority of the work goes into the basket, and what I am doing when I do this, and I'm not going to go through the whole weaving process with you because it would be very boring, but what you're going to do is take some scrap brown paper. You do not even need to measure it, but I tried to get these, well, probably even smaller than that, but let me see here. I try to get them about that size. Let me see. It's about 1/8 of an inch, if you can, or, you know, if you go a little bit higher, it's no big deal either. But I find the 1/8 of an inch is good. Mine, I don't think, let me see if these are 1/8 of an inch, because I don't even measure. Yeah, that's 1/8 of an inch. So I don't even measure them, really. I just approximate, and then I go up, and I don't even care if I'm going straight. Really, it's just to make the line, and it's going to be weaved, so you're not going to necessarily see the things. And we're going to put brown paper at the bottom as well. So so what you're going to do is you're going to weave these, literally weaving back and forth. I might have you guys come in a little bit here. All right, so I'm going to go literally weaving just like it's here. Sorry about this. Just the first one is always the hardest, because that's the one you're pretty much going to follow. So I'm hoping I'm getting this clear enough for you guys. That's the one you're going to basically follow while you're doing the weaving. So you're going to make sure that it's your one over, one under, one over, one under. And the first one is the most important one, because you want to make sure your so I always check under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and so on. I literally will cut as I go. So this one now, we need to get it opposite of the first one. So just like weaving, you would weave as, so there. And then I'll do, bear with me here. I know I don't talk much during this, but it's concentrating on it, right? And it's kind of, what I like about it, it's kind of mindless almost. You don't have to think too much. You can just pretty much veg out and create your basket. So I just make sure, do a quick look. But see, I missed one in there. So I have to come back. I did that one. I have to go. So I got to make sure that I'm getting all of them. Now it will get easier, I assure you. It's just getting these two in. Let me see here. I just make sure, because you'll see that these start lifting. So it's easier and easier to get it in. So I'm just going to check, make sure I've got everything there. Oh, no, I'm still not under that one. I keep wanting to go over it. There. Because these will start to lift. So that it's easier and easier to get it through. So I push down a little bit. I'm weaving it up just like you would a basket. All right, I'll check my things again now. I hope everybody's doing well today. I am having some jaw issues for some reason, where I'm having severe pain in my jaw after I eat. So I don't know what that might be, but I'm working on it. There. So we're pretty much good there. I get them as tight as I can get them. I get them as close as I can get them. And then I start on my next row. And then what I'm going to do is I'll bring you guys back after I'm done. But like I said, they start to lift. They start to get easier. Once I'm done, I'll show you how I put it together as a basket on the spare paper I have, because I do want it to be able to be cut without unraveling. So you want that paper underneath in order to do that. All right, guys, I'll be back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And we are looking good for our basket. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a piece of scrap paper, preferably brown, so it looks good top. And what I'm going to do is just lay some two-sided tape down. So all the way across. And this is just to make sure that it stays in place, and we're going to be able to cut it with no issues. So do that. Hope everybody's seeing this okay. And you'll see that I didn't have to go really tight with my basket. I do try to push them up as much as possible and make it as flat as possible. So as tight as you can get it, but it doesn't have to be a major weave for sure. Now we're going to pick up, sorry, we're going to pick this up just by the ends. We're going to slide it all the way up and then put down our basket. And there we go. We've got our basket and it's able to be cut. I do add more distressed ink at this point because I want that. But you want it to be a little bit like you want the dark and light areas, because no basket is the exact same for sure. So make sure it's pushed down quite a bit. There. All right. So now we're going to cut out the basket basically. And we're just going to lift this. Ooh, brought my table with it. All right. So just going to cut that part off. See how nice it stays. So we'll cut this part. Essentially, you're just getting those things off here. And then that's it. So we have that little block in the end. Like I said, your weave does not have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be a weave. Technically, you can just go in the shape of a basket and put some distressed ink on it. Because the weave is basically my preference. That's just somebody like, I do not, so you can make a pretty good basket just very quickly. So if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just gonna add a little bit more color here, because I could work on that all afternoon, likely. Okay. So I turned mine over. And the reason I turned mine over is because I want to sketch out my basket. So, and I've got to make it so that it's hanging from here, right? So I have to have an idea of where it's going to be placed in comparison with my, I'm not a sketcher by any way, shape, or form. And then I've got to come in with my, so my balloon's going to be coming here. And I'm going to zoom out again, guys. Sorry about the shaking there. So this is going to be our card. Remember, you've got to make it within the size of this and then of the card itself. I like it to be a little bit down because I like having my my ropes showing for a little bit. So I would be probably looking around that size there, just so I have a little bit of the rope showing. So I think I'll do, ignore my sketching. I am not a sketcher, not even close. I think that might be okay. So Remember, you can take things off better than you can put them back on. That's what I always think to myself. It's better to cut it short than cut it lengthy than have it too short and not be able to add on. All right, I think yeah, I'm picking at, yeah, I think that's all right. It can't look perfect. It's number one, it's crafts. Number two, we're doing this weaved basket and it's not, like the weaving's not perfect. It never is, right? So I'm going to go around my edges a little bit since I cut them. Love my vintage photo. Okay, so we've got that there. We've got our thing. So let's move away from that. And then we'll focus on our balloon. Now, what I do to start with this balloon, and I have all my flowers cut out, and this is great for being in front of the TV and just punching flowers. And then you just glue them together also at the in front of the TV. So what I do with mine is I usually, so I'm gonna measure this first of all. Not measure this, sorry. Lay some glue out for this. And what I do is I go like I don't use the same color twice. Going around, like side by side, I should say. So what I do is I just so I get them so that they're overlapping just a touch. Just enough to cover the balloon. So I find another color. I want a little bit more. I'm just going to do the outside with you just to make sure that, in case you have any questions, I just want to make sure that we know what we're doing, because I don't explain things well. I just don't. Ask Mario, poor guy. I just, yeah. So if I can show you, it's probably better. Again, just keep overlapping them a little bit. Doesn't matter which one overlaps the other. I'm just going to do this with you until we go around to the other side here. Oh, I gotta turn that one in. It's damaged. So I'll turn that way. And what one am I going to next? Yeah, I'll do this one. Again, this is a great mindless activity. Sorry about I put my glue upside down in a mug, and some glue gets on the bottom, so it will stick sometimes. I always have to have my glue upside down, or sometimes we just cannot get them out otherwise, especially when they start getting to the bottom. Now I do pick it up every now and then, make sure it's still keeping the shape of the balloon, but you can see what I meant by the outside. It doesn't matter because the petals are in the way, right? So let me see. Just I'm going to pick that up, make sure it's still looking like the balloon, because in the middle it's easy. It's just filling it up at that point. Oh, all right. Well, he just stepped in my glue. Yeah. Wonder what he's going to have stuck to him. You nut. So if you see fur in my stuff, let me know. He decides when he's coming in for sure. I just don't want to duplicate too much here. I've got tons of these done. Like I said, just kind of sit in front of the TV and punch them out. All right, so I'm going to check, make sure that that looks like a balloon still, and I think it's okay. All right, you guys, so now we're going to focus in. Try not to put, for instance, try not to put multiple dark pinks together too much, and you're going to have them there. You can't not have them there unless you have unlimited color. But I just try to keep them so that they're spaced out pretty good. And I will be back with you. Okay, bye. I'm back, you guys. And this is our balloon with all of the flowers on it. And I think it looks pretty good. It's kept its shape. Again, I'm just freestyling the shapes here, so they're easy to do. No measuring's necessary until you get to your card, and then that's when the action happens. We're going to put these aside for now, and we're going to just do the face of our card here. And what I'm going to do is put that. I think it matters really. So I hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. We kept it low key for sure. We didn't go crazy for sure. We relaxed in the backyard yesterday. Oh, so beautiful. We have a swing, that's attached to a rafter, and it's like a wicker, brown wicker basket kind of thing. So relaxing, and we would sit out there and watch the critters go, and everybody's out there. Every cat, well, not cat necessarily, but every creature you can imagine, from squirrels to pheasants to everything. All right, so I'm gonna put this on our front. You guys probably all know how to do this. So there we go. Make sure I have to cut it a little bit down. All right, so we've got our thing. Now we've got to position everything on it, because we need to know where our clouds are going to go, things like that. Oh, that's the... So I usually sketch, put those where I think I want them. I think that's good. So then I just pick this up. Try not to move them too much, because we okay, so that one's, I always double check. So that one's all right. And then I want this one right there. I always double check and double check and double check where I want stuff. I used to never do that. Way back then I wouldn't have. But I ruined a lot too. So, all right. So now comes the fun part. We're going to put this all together with our basket. So there's our basket. I just leave a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch there. And yeah, I might have to cut that basket down a little bit, because I don't want it to be too big compared to the balloon. I think that's a little bit better. Hope you guys think the same. I'm gonna do my Jay's hitting. I have things hanging off of a light, and when he's on his perch, he can he whips his tail constant, whether he's asleep, awake, it doesn't matter. And he is whipping his tail and hitting the stuff that's hanging off my light. All right, you guys, I hope that looks good to you, because it looks good to me, I think. All right, so foam tape. And one tip, this foam tape is put on the backing of other things. Like this is the backing for my transfer tape, or you get them with well, anything that's sticky and it's got to last for keep it sticky. I put this over onto this because when you do that, you're not going to get gunk on your scissors ever. So I do this, or if I don't have that, I use parchment paper and I just cut it from there. But the best part about it too is that you can get very little, like small little cuts. But the main thing I use it for is because I don't want to have gucky scissors. So that's my main thing. All right, so we're gonna prop this up a bit, just with some you can see where I have my drawings, trying to get it get it the right size. All right. All right, that's gone. Maybe I should do tutorials all the time, just to see if I can keep my desk clean, because I can't usually. All right, I'm not going to press that down quite yet. I want to make sure I've got everything good. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with our basket here. Now, at this point, like for my first one, I put little kitty cats on the top of the this. I don't know what I want on there right now, but anyways, it's a good idea if you're going to put something inside. It's a good idea to take this opportunity to glue it on the back. But it depends on how and what you're going to put in. Is maybe you don't feel you need it to do that yet. I'm going to put it down with the foam tape. So now this is when I take my roping. I usually so I just kind of do this to it so that it sticks to something when I put it in. Probably you guys can think of an easier way to do this, but I just do it. I did it my way. that. The glue is more for, well, first to keep it stable, but it's also so that it doesn't unravel. Oh, I lost one. I lost it. You guys probably say, Bobbi-Jo, why didn't you do this when you first put it in there? There. All right. So, there it is, you guys. Tell me what you think. I'd be love to see you, first of all, your creations. Second of all, let me know what you think of this one. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. Hi, guys. Me again. We forgot to put our butterfly on. There we go. He's okay now. All right. Bye.